Welcome to English 403A Weekly Starter for February 23rd, 2015. This weekly starter is going to go over the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer that you're going to be reading. Let's get started. Now, you should be finished with Unit 1 assignments, so here's a little checklist to kind of do so that you know you're on track. You should have turned in the 1.5 quiz and completed that. The 1.09 quiz. You should have last Thursday completed the 1.10 discussion, and then you should have the weekly starters from 2.9, 2.16, and 2.5 completed. If you haven't done any of these items, you can still make them up for full credit, so get on that. All right, here is this week's assignments. You should have started lesson 1 of the Canterbury Tales on Friday. If you haven't, go ahead and get caught up. And we're going to be doing lessons 2 through 6. And on this 6, on Friday, you're going to be starting a discussion thread. This is very timely and important that you start your first answer on the 28th so that people can respond and you can actually have this live discussion going on. Something else to be aware of is to go to Doc Sharing and start thinking about your topics for your research paper, and if you turn it in early, 5.02, the worksheet, you can get extra credit. All right, so let's talk about the Canterbury Tales. You're going to be reading 2 selections from the Canterbury Tales, the prologue and the Wife of Bath. So let's talk about the prologue a little bit. A prologue is an introduction, and the setting is in the spring in the city of Southwark at the Tabard Inn in England. There is a total of 30 pilgrims, and we have 3 groups: the orators, those who pray; the bellators, those who fight; and the laborators, those who work. And pardon my pronunciation. So you have 3 groups, and Chaucer's going to be gently making fun and exposing elements of his society through these different groups. So the prologue tells of these people on a pilgrimage. They are on this pilgrimage, this spiritual journey. It's told in first-person point of view, and the narrator tells the reader ahead of time the type of information he will present. For example, in lines 37 through 41, the narrator says, "It seems a reasonable thing to say what their condition was, the full array of each of them, as it appeared to me, according to profession and degree, and what a peril they were riding in." Just so a note, the prologue is on page 18. So something that you need to ask yourself as you're reading is, what is Chaucer really telling us? The narrator, through showing their condition, their array, profession and degree, and apparel, which is their clothing, is going to show who they are, their status and role in society, the possessions they brought on their pilgrimage, their job, education, and what they're wearing. And every single one of these things is key to understand what Chaucer's making fun of. For instance, are they supposed to be humble and spiritual, and yet they're wearing very costly clothing? So ask yourself those questions. Because after all, the Canterbury Tales is considered a satire. A satire is a literary mode based on criticism of people and society through ridicule, through making fun of them. The satirist aims to reduce practices attacked by laughing scornfully at them and being witty enough to allow the reader to laugh also. Ridicule, irony, exaggeration, and several other techniques are almost always present in a satire. Canterbury Tales, Chaucer uses irony in particular to expose the elements of society and these people. So just to end here, the Canterbury Tales is considered an estate satire. We have these 3 estates in European feudal society. The peasants work, the clergy pray, and the nobles fight. And what is he saying about each of these elements? So as you read, ask yourself these questions. I hope you'll join me for the Canterbury Tales Weekly Spotlight on Tuesday at 11. At this time, this is the end of the weekly starter. Please go and take the quiz. I hope you're paying attention. And good luck. If you need any help this week, please let me know. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.